Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Connecting the Dots.
Glad you could tune in again.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan.
It's Thursday, August 7th, 2025, and we're here to connect some dots for you.
That's right. Let's start with a quick look around. Weather-wise, nationally, there are tropical storm watches up for Agrahan, Pagan, and Alamagan in the northern Marianas.
Yeah, Tropical Depression 16W is expected to strengthen. Could bring heavy rain, gusty winds through Saturday.
And closer to the mainland, severe thunderstorms are brewing in the northern plains for this afternoon and tonight.
Sounds rough. Potential for tornadoes, large hail, severe winds there.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Here in Sacramento, well, it's simpler. Hot. High of 96 degrees Fahrenheit expected today.
Oof, yeah. Stay cool out there. All right, market check. As of the close yesterday, August 7th.
The Dow Jones started at 44,430.7. Closed down a bit at 44,199.76.
So down about 290 points or 0.52% for the day.
But looking at the week since Monday, it's actually up 475 points, just over 1%.
Okay, S&P 500, similar story. Started at 6,374.32, closed slightly down at 6,365.94.
That's a dip of just 8 points, 0.13% daily.
But again, weekly trend is up. Gained 94 points, about 1.5% since Monday.
And Bitcoin. It bucked the daily trend. Started around 115,016, closed higher at 116,390.
Nice jump there, up over 1,370 points. That's 1.19% on the day.
Weekly change is also positive, up about 1,318 points or 1.15%. So mixed signals day to day, but generally up for the week.
Seems that way. And now for the really important numbers.
Yes. For all our fellow Giants fans out there. Great news.
Tell us.
The Giants beat the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday, August 6th. Final score, 4-2.
Win.
Ryan Walker got the W. And shout out to Nick Gonzalez for the Pirates. He went 3 for 4, but wasn't enough.
Always good to see the Giants pull out a win.
Definitely starts the day off right.
Okay, enough numbers for now. Let's connect some dots in the tech world.
Sounds good. We're diving into our Morningstar report, bringing you the top 3 stories shaping the tech landscape today.
First up, OpenAI and... well, a bit of a dramatic reveal for GPT-5.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
Well, you know how they had their big Live 5 Tream event planned for August 6th?
Yeah, lots of hype around it.
So just hours before that, details about GPT-5 accidentally leaked. A blog post popped up on GitHub.
On GitHub? That's owned by Microsoft, isn't it?
Exactly. Titled, GPT-5 is now generally available in GitHub models. It was pulled down super fast, but...
But the internet never forgets. Let me guess. Reddit.
You got it. Eagle-eyed users grabbed screenshots, archived the page. The whole reveal kind of got spoiled.
Wow. So what did the leak actually say? What is GPT-5?
Well, the big news is it's not just one model. It's actually a whole family. 4 different variants.
4. Okay, interesting. What are they?
So there's GPT-5 itself, positioned for logic and multi-step tasks. Standard powerhouse, basically.
Okay.
Then GPT-5 Mini. That's described as a lightweight version for cost-sensitive applications.
Makes sense. Not everyone needs the absolute biggest model.
Right. And there's also GPT-5 Nano, which is optimized for speed, ideal for, low latency stuff.
Speed, cost. What's the 4th?
That one's GPT-5 Chat. And this sounds like the big one for businesses. It's described as handling advanced, natural, multimodal, and context-aware conversations, specifically aimed at enterprise applications.
Multimodal. So it can handle images, maybe audio too, along with text?
That's the implication, yeah. And context-aware suggests much better memory in conversations.
This tiered approach is pretty smart, isn't it? It means AI can be tailored. You're not just getting raw power, you're getting the right kind of power for your specific need.
Precisely. Imagine you're building an app. Now you can pick a GPT-5 variant tuned for speed or one for low cost, or the advanced chat for, say, a sophisticated customer service bot.
Instead of a one-size-fits-all that might be overkill or too expensive.
Exactly. The leak also promised major improvements in reasoning, code quality, and user experience across the board.
Better reasoning is always the holy grail. What about coding?
They claim it can handle complex coding tasks with minimal prompting and enhanced agentic capabilities.
Agentic, meaning it can do stuff on its own. Plan and execute tasks.
That's the idea. More independent, less just responding to single prompts. That's a big step for automation.
So why does this matter to our listeners?
Well, it signals a shift. OpenAI seems to be moving beyond just raw capability, focusing on practical, specialized applications. After GPT 4.5 got a kind of meh reception,
Right, it wasn't the huge leap everyone expected.
they're clearly trying to reassert leadership by offering these tailored solutions. It suggests the AI market is maturing. Practicality might be starting to trump pure power for many users.
And Sam Altman had been teasing GPT-5 for ages, right?
Hey.
Saying it would answer questions perfectly and instantly.
He definitely set high expectations. What's also interesting is the timing. This leak happened the same week OpenAI announced they were going back into open source with GPIOS.
Huh. So they're playing both sides. Super powerful proprietary models and open source options.
Seems like a two-pronged strategy. Capture the high-end enterprise market with the GPT-5 family, and also cater to developers who want or need open-source flexibility. It's a big play.
Trying to cover all the bases. Even if a little GitHub slip-up took some wind out of their sails, you really can't delete things online, can you?
Especially not with Reddit around. Okay, so from the AI models themselves, let's zoom out a bit to the hardware they run on.
Right, the chips. Our second story dives into semiconductor tariffs and, well, some geopolitical maneuvering.
Yeah, this one involves former President Donald Trump. He announced a 100% tariff on imported semiconductor chips.
100%. Wow, that's significant.
Very. But there's a crucial exemption. Chips built in the United States of America are excluded. This announcement came just hours before the tariffs were set to take effect.
Okay, so a massive push for domestic manufacturing. And when you talk chips, you have to talk Taiwan, right? Particularly TSMC.
Absolutely central. TSMC makes the most advanced chips for, well, almost everyone. iPhones, servers, military tech, you name it. They're the linchpin.
So how is TSMC reacting to this huge tariff threat?
They're making some big moves stateside. They've pledged an additional $100 billion to expand their manufacturing in the U.S., focusing on Arizona.
An additional $100 billion on top of what they already committed.
That's the report. They're fast-tracking their second and third plants there, talking about creating a gigafab cluster, hedging their bets, basically, making sure they can produce within the U.S. to avoid that tariff.
Smart, if expensive.
Yeah.
But wasn't there some back and forth on the numbers? I thought Trump mentioned an even higher figure earlier.
There was. He claimed TSMC would invest $300 billion. But analysts like Ming-Chi Kuo were skeptical. Kuo suggested that higher number might have been more of a negotiation tactic.
Okay. So the official TSMC commitment is more like $165 billion total for the U.S. so far.
That seems to be the more grounded figure, yes. Despite all this political chess, though, TSMC's chairman, C.C. Wei, recently said AI chip demand is still outpacing supply.
So they need to build more fabs anyway, wherever they can.
Pretty much. The demand is just relentless.
So connecting the dots for everyone listening, why does this tariff game matter so much?
Well, first, cost. If companies suddenly have to pay a 100% tariff on critical Taiwanese chips, that cost is likely getting passed on to you, the consumer. Think phones, laptops, cars, appliances.
Ouch. So potentially higher prices on a lot of tech.
Potentially, yes. It's also a huge pressure campaign to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., boosting that supply chain security everyone's talking about.
But what about the smaller chip companies in Taiwan? The ones that can't just drop $100 billion on U.S. factories.
That's the other side. They could be really squeezed by this. It's complex. You've got global trade dynamics bumping up against national economic and security interests.
It really is like a high-stakes chess match, playing out with silicon in billions of dollars.
And our tech future hanging in the balance.
Okay.
Okay, so we've talked software, we've talked hardware. What about the people building all this?
Ah, yes, the talent. Our third story is about the, let's call it the billion-dollar battle for AI brains.
It's intense out there. And what's interesting is it seems it's not just about the money anymore. Mission and culture are playing a surprisingly big role.
Really? In AI? I thought it was all about massive paychecks and stock options.
That's definitely still a huge factor, but check this out. Research from SignalFire, the venture firm, shows AI startup Anthropic, the ones focused on AI safety.
Yeah, I know them. Claude AI.
Right. They're actually growing their engineering team 2.68 times faster than they're losing talent.
Wow, 2.68x. How does that compare?
It's beating everyone. OpenAI is at 2.18x, Meta is 2.07x, and Google is way down at 1.17x.
So Anthropic, the smaller mission-focused company, is retaining and attracting talent better than the giants. How?
Their CEO, Dario Amodei, has a theory. He basically said rivals are trying to buy something that cannot be bought, and that is alignment with the mission. Recruiters are apparently calling Anthropic a dream company.
Huh. So maybe purpose actually can compete with pure cash, at least for some top engineers.
It seems like it might be a real differentiator, yeah. A strategic advantage even.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
But the big guys are still throwing money around, right?
Oh, absolutely. The buyer poach playbook is in full effect. Meta's been especially aggressive.
How so?
Reports say Mark Zuckerberg himself has been emailing top AI researchers, offering jobs for at least $10 million a year.
$10 million a year, personally emailed by Zuck. That's persuasive.
You'd think so. They even formed a whole new lab, Meta Superintelligence Labs, or MSL, largely by poaching talent, including one of the co-creators of ChatGPT, Shengji Zhao.
Wow, what's Zuck's rationale?
His view seems to be that the very top minds want access to the most computing power, the most GPUs, to do groundbreaking work. So Meta's providing that.
Makes sense. And it's not just Meta, is it? Google, OpenAI.
Nope. Google DeepMind has reportedly offered packages up to $20 million a year.
$20 million.
And OpenAI, apparently feeling the sting of rivals stealing talent, has boosted retention bonuses. Think $2 million cash on top of equity packages already worth $20 million or more.
The numbers are just staggering.
And then there's the acquire trend. Companies basically buying startups just to get the team.
Like Meta's deal with Scale AI or Microsoft grabbing people from Inflection AI.
Exactly. Or Google's investment in Character.ai. It's buying talent wholesale. It really does feel like the Wild West meets Silicon Valley.
But this intensity must have a downside, right? A human cost.
For sure. There's a cautionary tale about an AI coding startup called Windsurf. They had a $3 billion acquisition offer from OpenAI lined up.
$3 billion, huge exit.
Yeah, but it imploded. Google poached their CEO and other top talent right before the deal closed.
Ouch. What happened to Windsurf then?
They ended up getting acquired by a competitor, Cognition.ai, for much less, presumably. And then Cognition's CEO sent out this really blunt memo.
What did it say?
Basically warning staff about 80-hour work weeks and no work-life balance. He even offered buyouts for anyone not willing to commit to that level of intensity.
Yikes, that's brutal.
And it highlights the personal costs, too. One early Windsurf employee, Prem Quanair, shared his story. He expected a massive payout from the OpenAI deal.
Right, life-changing money.
But after the Google poaching and the Cognition deal, he ended up with only 1% of what he expected. It sparked a huge debate about startup equity and how volatile it can be.
Man, that's rough. So massive salaries, intense pressure, uncertain payoffs.
And don't forget the infrastructure costs, just building the data centers and buying the chips to power all this AI. McKinsey projects it'll cost $5.2 trillion by 2030. Trillion. Meta alone is planning $64 to $72 billion in capital expenditures in 2025. Amazon, over $100 billion. A huge chunk of that goes straight to NVIDIA. People are calling it the NVIDIA tax.
Wow. So connecting these dots, what's the takeaway for us?
This talent war, this spending spree, it directly shapes the AI tools you use every day. It dictates how fast AI evolves, what features get built, which companies dominate.
And it raises ethical questions, too, about work-life balance, fairness, and compensation.
Absolutely. And what's the ultimate goal driving all this investment? Artificial General Intelligence, AGI.
The AI that can think like a human.
Right. Meta's internal forecasts, for example, project potential revenue from generative AI hitting anywhere from $460 billion to $1.4 trillion by 2035.
Okay, with potential payoffs like that, you can almost see why they're spending billions now.
It's the gold rush of our time. The pressure to deliver on that promise, given these investments, must be absolutely immense. Falling behind isn't really an option.
So much going on. Let's quickly recap the big three stories we covered.
Okay. First, OpenAI's GPT-5. Not one model, but a whole family. Accidentally revealed via a GitHub leak. Tailored for different needs: logic, cost, speed, and enterprise chat.
Then the chip tariff tension. A proposed 100% U.S. tariff on imported chips, pushing TSMC to double down on its massive Arizona investments, potentially raising tech costs for everyone.
And finally, the AI talent war. It's not just about money anymore, with mission-driven Anthropic surprisingly leading in talent retention against giants like Meta and Google, who are using massive salaries, poaching, and acqui-hires in a high-stakes, high-cost battle.
These aren't just isolated tech news items. They connect directly to the economy, to the tools you use, the prices you pay, and maybe even the future of work itself.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. As AI gets more specialized, and race for talent and hardware intensifies, who ultimately benefits the most? Are we building towards a future where AI truly helps everyone, or just concentrating power in the hands of a few giant players?
Something to mull over. Lots to think about as always.
Indeed.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's Connecting the Dots. We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll connect more dots soon.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.